in New York. The Rangers hosting Calgary. It's tied at 1. Told you, Trouba hits Dubé and then gets into a fight with somebody else. More on this game later. Wonderful Jazz Mavs. Conley to Lauri Markkanen. Look at Markkanen with the one hand, the all-star.
Markkanen's a really good player.
Yes.
Y'all made fun of me. He's a good player.
Markkanen.
I do like Markkanen. He's a good player.
I'll
Especially
make
now
fun
that
of
he's
you a
gotten
little bit.
stronger.
Mavs win.
Good
Jazz
player.
now in 10th place. Weird.
I like
Blazers
him in Chicago, too, though.
hosting the Bucks. Dane picks up his dribble and says, I guess I don't care. I'll just shoot it from here. Goes in. 3 of his 28.
Wow.
Not enough, though. Blazers 2 game below 500. Wonderful. We're early in Rockets Kings. Şengün brought the ball up, but he gets it to Kenyon Martin Jr. eventually. Down the lane for the dunk. Rockets lost, obviously. And then finally, we're back to the guard, now tied at 2. Trouba again lays the hit on Kadri. And then he gets into another fight with somebody else. So 2 fights, 2 clean hits. The Rangers win in overtime. And that's a weird and wonderful from the National
Very
Pastime.
controversial getting those hockey highlights into
Those
weird,
were good.
wonderful, wild skull.
Cam
Poor
Thomas
Christina
not
for no
making.
reason.
Drew, he's going to be in medals later on, media day.
Okay, he gets a medal? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Bro, you're not even here. Mahomes revisiting the loss of Tyreek Hill. Take a listen.
We lost an all-time great receiver in Tyreek Hill, someone that did a lot of great things for us. But we got a lot of great receivers in as well, and so Coach Bieniemy and Coach Reed, they went in there and they learned what their strengths were, and we went out there and maximized that this year. And so it takes everybody. It's not just the players, it's the coaches. It's everybody in that building to be in this game, and I truly believe that.
Let's look at the tail of the tape. Mahomes with Tyreek and without. More passing yards, higher passer rating, big completions more, and air yards the same, 1 fewer game. Greg, are you surprised at how good the Chiefs' offense has been without Tyreek Hill?
There is an element of surprise. It's been remarkable. I don't think any of us saw this happening because of how. No, not even Nick. Now, mind you,
picked him to win MVP.
Patrick Mahomes, yes. I didn't think he was going to have a drop off, but as far as his offense, no one thought that it would get better without Tyreek Hill being on that roster, and that's exactly what they did. And I think something that Patrick Mahomes said at the end of that was Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid leaned into the strengths, identified the strengths of the guys that they brought in. A lot of coaches say that they do this. They do not do this. They want the guys to conform to what the system provides and what they need from the system versus seeing, okay, what does he do well? How can we implement that into what we do well and utilize it? They have done that better than anyone. Andy Reid is a mastermind at it, which is why they've had tremendous amounts of success.
So far this year, 11 different guys have touchdown catches. The guy with the second most touchdown catches started the year as their third string running back, Jerick McKinnon. 17 different players have catches overall, including a former backup college quarterback named the Belldozer, Blake Bell. He has a playoff catch and regular season catches. Marcus Kemp, a guy who came into this postseason with 24 career tackles and 4 career catches, was catching passes in the AFC Championship game. None of this can happen if you don't have, forget arm angles and toughness and how strong of an arm he has, if you don't have one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. And I was listening, a buddy of mine, Danny Parkins, does radio in Chicago, and they interviewed Patrick's dad, Patrick Mahomes Sr., and he said kind of off the cuff in talking about the Bears potentially drafting Mahomes, that Mahomes has an eidetic memory, which is something similar to a photographic memory. And I don't know if that's been tested or proven out by a doctor. But what he talked about how was that one of Mahomes' greatest strengths is once a defense does something to him, he always is able to recall that and implement it in real time. And Brew, and we talked with Patrick about this when he was on the show last week, I really believe that defenses last year changing the way they played Mahomes to take Tyreek away is what set the table for the Chiefs to be able to literally take Tyreek away. I think if it had just been smooth sailing last year, this would have been a harder transition. But because defenses were daring Patrick to take the easy stuff, and he struggled with that briefly for about 5 weeks last year, it then prepared them to be able to play this more conservative style of offense that, despite being conservative, still somehow led the league in everything, including explosive plays.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's interesting you brought up the memory with Mahomes, because LeBron's similar. We know LeBron has that type of memory as well, so that's interesting. But I'm not surprised at all, because the great ones, and you know what level I put Mahomes on, the great quarterbacks can do it with any receivers. They really can. I mean, Tom Brady, one of the parts of the GOAT argument for Brady is look who he was winning his first Super Bowls with. Deion Branch, Troy Brown, David Gibbons. You know, they're pretty good receivers. One Pro Bowl amongst them, you know. Joe Montana, everybody associates him with Jerry Rice, understandably, but he won his first 2 Super Bowls with Dwight Clark. All right, Jerry Rice was not there. All right, so, and Mahomes is similar. So he's just great. He's going to make any NFL caliber receiver pretty good. And then you add on the run game. All right, with Isaiah Pacheco, they added a run game this year. So I think those things all brought together. I'm not surprised at all that Mahomes is having this type of year without Tyreek.
So are you worried at all because your receiving core was a little banged up? Tyreek Hill, 9 catches for 105 against the 49ers, 7 catches for 73 yards against the Bucs. I'm not quite ready to bury this narrative and say goodbye to it. Are you worried at all?
Oh, you think it's going to show up in the Super Bowl?
We got one final bite at the apple.
So here's the thing. Juju's going to play in the Super Bowl. He actually gets $1 million, Greg, if they win the Super Bowl and he plays half the snaps.
I think he's going to play extra.
Kadarius Toney said he was going to play. And McCole Hardman, who's going to be out, McCole Hardman had been out since mid-October and then came back for the AFC Championship game and sadly got re-injured. It really sucks for him. He's a pending free agent. But shout out to Hardman, by the way. His final play was a key third down catch that set up a touchdown, and he got hurt on and held on to the football. But it's just very quickly. I think we only have like 40 seconds, Greg. Sheil Kapadia had this in his article today. Patrick Mahomes this year was the #1 ranked quarterback against man coverage, against zone coverage, #1 ranked if you blitzed him, #1 ranked if you didn't blitz him, #1 ranked quarterback in split safety, and all the way at #2 ranked quarterback against single high safety. So if you're the Eagles, what is the game plan if he's #1 in the league against every type of defense you can throw at him?
Go get him with that defensive line.
That's it?
Yes.
That's gotta be it.
Yes. That's literally what they've done all season long. Go get the quarterback, period. Okay. We know how special Patrick Mahomes is. Can't get
This whole segment was a love letter to
I mean, what can anyone say other than it's a really short